Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. In today's story, Opie has been married to his wife for about 3 years, and in the last year he has been miserable. However, his sister-in-law moves in with him and she has a completely different personality. Spending some time with someone who's so positive makes him realize how miserable he truly is, and he decides to leave his wife. Things go pretty much as you can expect. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a thumbs up. And I just wanted to take a second and thank all of my subscribers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. For those of you that don't know, I have a personal goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. So if you like my content and would like to support me, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. Anyways, thank you for your time and onto the story. My marriage has been horrible for the past year. Wife's sister recently moved in and we have a lot of fun together. This made me realize how unhappy I am in my marriage and I want to divorce. My wife, who's a 36-year-old female, and I, a 31-year-old male, have been married for the past 3 years. Our marriage has been horrible for me for the past year. My wife is always angry, negative, lazy, and blames everything that goes slightly wrong in her life on somebody else except herself. I'm a very outgoing and motivated person, and I like to go out a lot. My wife is less outgoing, but used to always try to make an effort to go out together and have fun. For the past year, she hasn't done anything in our marriage. She's addicted to her phone and TikTok and barely pays attention when I'm talking or if we're doing something. We barely go out anymore, and if we do, she always finds something to get angry at, like for example, a waiter taking a little too long. When we're out eating, she's on her phone watching TikToks and barely communicating with me. She always wakes up moody and angry and destroys the whole vibe. She curses in every other sentence she says and huffs and puffs if she has to do something that normal adults have to do. We've also not been intimate for the past 6 months, and it doesn't look like something is going to change. I always tell her how much I appreciate her and I love her and I try to do things together. But she always shuts me down when I suggest doing something because she's quote-unquote tired. But then she proceeds to watch Netflix until 2 a.m. She never shows any affection or appreciation towards me. For the past year, I've tried to communicate to her that something needs to change in our marriage, but she just gets angry and avoids the conversation instead of talking. It's gotten to the point that I have stopped caring about our marriage and have just been going along and focusing on my personal life and goals. My sister's wife, Elle, has recently gotten out of a long-term relationship and has moved in with us temporarily. Elle is the complete opposite of my wife. She's happy, vibrant, talks, and is just fun to be around. Ever since she moved in, we've been spending a lot of time together because my wife doesn't like to do anything other than watching Netflix and talking to her friends on FaceTime when she's home. On the rare occasions she is not doing one of these things, she's out with her friends. Elle is a very active person, so we do a lot of activities together. She joins me when I go to the park to get some fresh air. She helps me cook when I'm preparing dinner and even works out with me in my home gym. I always try to get my wife to tag along with us, but she never does. Spending all this time with Elle has totally changed my mood. Being around a person that's positive and doesn't complain about every single thing in their life is so refreshing and fun. But don't get the wrong idea, we have never done anything inappropriate. We've just become really good friends that lift each other up. The past couple of months since Elle moved in has made me realize how unhappy I am in my marriage. Having someone around you that is constantly complaining, cursing, and angry drains every bit of energy out of you. It's depressing, and that's not how I want my life to be. I want to be with someone positive who shows that they care about me and want to have new experiences together with me. I've tried so hard for the past year to make my marriage work with my wife, but I just get shut down. I don't feel loved anymore and appreciated, and I don't want to be in this position anymore. I want a divorce so that I can move on with my life and find someone who actually loves me and cares for me. I've officially checked out of my marriage and I don't want to turn back anymore. I'm I'm just not completely sure how I should go about the situation now. I know for a fact that I'm going to get trashed by my friends and her family for leaving my wife, and that I'm somehow going to come out as the bad guy. I want this process to be as clean as possible, but I'm not sure how. My first post ended up getting a lot of traction. I appreciate all of the supportive messages I've gotten, and especially all the people sharing their own experiences. You definitely helped me get some perspective on the matter. The past couple of days, I've been able to clear my head about my marriage. I realized that this is not how I want to spend the rest of my life. I want to be with someone who cares about me and loves me. She clearly doesn't. I want to be with someone who respects me enough to put her phone down when we're having dinner and I'm trying to talk to her and isn't ignoring me to watch TikToks. I'm done trying to get nothing in return. I'm done giving it my all and getting nothing back. I've been trying to communicate and make things better for a whole year and have been completely neglected. I still have love for my wife, but I'm not in love with her anymore. I want to move on with my life and find the right one for me and lead a happy life. I've already been in contact with my divorce attorney and I'm getting the process started. I turned 32 2 days ago and my wife didn't even acknowledge my existence. Instead, she went out with her friends that night. Even her sister remembered my birthday and got me a present. She was even shocked that my wife ignored my birthday like this. We ended up having dinner together at a restaurant and she even paid for the both of us. I didn't even feel the need to mention my birthday to my wife because I knew at this point she didn't really care. This made me lock my decision. I don't care if she's depressed or not. If she doesn't even care enough about me to remember and acknowledge my birthday and rather goes out with her friends, I don't want to be with her. People keep saying that we should go to counseling and therapy to patch things up. For the past year, I've been trying to get my wife to couples therapy with me, but she just refuses and, as always, gets angry with me. I've tried everything I could have thought of to make my marriage work, but she pretty much shuts everything I try down. I've tried so hard to make my marriage work and put in so much effort, but now I've had enough. A lot of people tried to diagnose my wife with depression in the previous post, but I'm not a medical professional, so I can only talk from my perspective. To me, it seems like she was living her own life without me, and that she would get frustrated with everything I got involved in. I'm not going to say if she has or doesn't have depression. That's not for me to determine. Whether she has it or not, I don't find that a valid excuse to treat me the way that she's been treating me for the past year. She doesn't even have the respect to communicate and talk to me like a decent human being, and instead, she's on her phone and ignores me. If she has depression, she'll have to figure that out on her own without me. A lot of people were also suggesting that I want a divorce to get with her sister. That's not true. I want a divorce so that I can get myself out of this miserable marriage and so that I can move on with my life. I have no plans of pursuing her sister. I'm getting this divorce for my own well-being. Elle said that she finds the divorce unfortunate, but that she supports my decision. She even suggested that we stay friends after because we get along great. When I told her that I was divorcing her, a little part of me hoped that she would realize what has been happening in the past year and try to apologize and make things good again, or at least something along the lines. Instead, she started getting angry with me and started yelling at me. As always, instead of taking responsibility, she started blaming me. At this point, I stopped caring and I didn't respond at all to her yelling. I told her that my decision was final. I also suggested that she see a medical professional to figure out if she has depression or not, but what she does with that advice is not really a concern of mine. Elle knew something was up and tried to talk with my wife about what was going on, but pretty much got dismissed and yelled at for getting her nose in our business. For now, I'll be sleeping on the couch and living on my own. Elle informed me that she's moving out and was able to find a place, so I'm taking the guest bedroom when she goes out. I'm in the middle of trying to figure things out with my lawyer, and hopefully we'll be able to move fast in this divorce, but probably not. I'm mentally preparing myself for everything that will happen to me socially, and I accept that. I just want this to be over so that I can move on with my life. So guys, what did you think about this? I personally do like to believe the best in people, and I do think that OP was sincere when he said that he didn't have feelings towards the sister. I think that he's just been spending so much time around somebody who's so negative, and that might have warped his view. So when he spent time with someone who wasn't incredibly negative, he developed a new perspective in life. I can't blame him. I also understand why some individuals might have said that OP's wife had depression, but I personally don't think that that's a deduction that we should make. It should definitely be left to the professionals. Depression can be extremely debilitating. Trust me, I know. But I also don't think that it should be an excuse to make another person's life miserable or used as a blanket excuse for everything. I don't know, that's just me. Anyways, what did you think? Please let me know in the comments down below. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.